Tom Cornwell is the Essex Area Manager of the Road Haulage Association and joins us now. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Such a shame we're not chatting in happier circumstances. It's a heartbreaking story. Just how difficult is it to control a lorry if you're distracted by a mobile phone?
It's impossible. Full attention is needed at all times.
What sort of training, Tom, do lorry drivers go through? I know, obviously, it sort of goes without saying you shouldn't be watching stuff at the wheel, but is that really impressed upon people? And what other training do HGV drivers go through?
The training they go through is extensive, and the training is also ongoing as well and recurring each year. To be honest, this doesn't seem to be a training issue. It's more the census actions of an individual, rather than reflective of an industry that is compliant and is trained on a regular basis.
What about the idea that there may be any sort of differences culturally compared to people driving in Britain and maybe people driving on the continent? Is this sort of thing more commonplace in Europe, or is it sort of, it could happen anywhere?
It could happen anywhere, yes. Of course, a lot of the regulations that our drivers have to follow are EU-wide. So realistically, the training should be consistent. However, it is difficult to legislate for someone, doing such an idiotic and census act.
And what sort of deterrents do you think are in place? Because we've heard about the defendant in this case. He'd already been caught using his mobile phone at the wheel twice. He had 12 points on his licence, yet still felt sort of, willing and able to watch something at the wheel, and then this incident happened. Should there maybe be something stronger in place to deter people from doing that?
Absolutely. I mean, my personal opinion, and the opinion of the RHA, is that the strongest action should be taken against anyone who uses a mobile phone, particularly whilst driving a HGV, as they have the potential to cause tragic accidents like this. Most of companies that I come across do have a stringent mobile phone policy in place that does punish drivers if they are caught. But of course, in serious incidents like this, it is the will of the courts that can punish these drivers. And hopefully the custodial sentence that the driver has received will act as a deterrent.
Should companies take more of a stance as well? I mean, if you were to tell HGV drivers you'll lose your job if you get this sort of conviction, is that a way?
Yes, I mean, most companies that I do see do have that as a deterrent already. So if they are caught, then losing their job will be what happens to them. So as you say, yes, hopefully that will also act as a deterrent from maybe a financial point of view. That they know they will be jobless if they do use it.
It's not the first time we've seen cases like this, though, Tom, is it? And the impact it has on individuals and their families is incredibly strong for that family, but doesn't perhaps live long in the memory of people on the roads. How can we be sure that people will get the message? It seems to be happening over and over and over again.
It does. I mean, to be honest, in terms of the actual amount of journeys undertaken by HGV, it is a small percentage. However, because of how tragic it is, and as you say, for the family of the young girl, it is terrible and it is tragic, and that's why it does resonate with people because of how tragic it is. A young girl there has lost her life through the carelessness of a driver who should not have been on his mobile phone at all. And that can't obviously bring her back. But what it can do is serve as a reminder to other drivers to not use their mobile phone while they're driving.
A lot of drivers, Tom, and I haven't got an HGV license, but I passed my test before mobile phones were around. Do you think there needs to be some sort of refresher or something drummed into motorists in some way, not just HGV drivers, about the distraction mobile phones can cause?
Absolutely, yeah. Anything that we're able to do, obviously in the association, but also as the general public, to improve awareness of the use of mobile phones while driving would be beneficial for everyone, I think. Obviously, HGVs do get the highlighting, if you want, because of the weight they carry and potentially the danger they can cause. But as you say, I do think it is an issue for all motorists. Any awareness that can be raised, I think, can only be a good thing.
Thank you very much, Tom Cornwell from the Road Haulage Association.